Okay, so you know how hard it is to find something to watch? Everything you turn on, you're just like, oh my gosh, just manipulation. It is indoctrination. It's once you see it, it's so hard to find something to watch. It's all you can see in all the movies. And so it's so hard to find anything to entertain yourself with. And you're locked down. So you have to take time to yourself. You have to take time to play music and cook, and especially out here. Like I can't, nobody delivers food out here. I have to cook. And I have to have food here to cook. So you have to be so much more mindful of things. You have to think about things, you know. But you I'll put on music and dance around and stuff like that. But today, my brother has Plex, and most of us are signed into his Plex. So he builds his own movie thing up, and he's got tons and tons of movies. And so usually I go on there and try and find something. And today he had put 2 new movies on. And so I wanted to just say, because I was like, I wasn't quite sure. Every time you start it, you're like, oh God, this is just going to be manipulating me. And the one, it was called, well, the one was called Come Play. And it's a new movie, a horror movie. And it was so good. Everybody, I know tons of people like Babadook. And, you know, because it has a whole nother meaning. That this movie was like that. Come Play. It's just really, really good. When I started it, I was like, oh, great. Another movie, they're just going to play high frequencies that are unsettling and then show blood and guts splattering everywhere and make me feel sick to my stomach and do a bunch of jump scares and call it a scary movie. And when I grew up, that's scary movies were like, oh my gosh, stay up on a Friday. I remember I would be like, I don't know, 10 or 11 years old on a Friday night, and I was the oldest, and I would stay up by myself. And they started, my brother and sister started staying up, but there was a lot of times I stayed up by myself. And on Friday nights, they would have this scary movie thing. And it probably started like at 9 or 10, but to me, it seemed like it was like the midnight movie. And it would be like Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy. I was always disappointed when they do the Godzilla ones. I always liked the vampire ones. The vampires were so scary. The Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Werewolf. I just loved all those movies. There were so many good ones. And they didn't have to gross you out. They usually cut away. You didn't have to see gross stuff. And when they started doing that whole thing in scary movies, it was so disappointing. I was like, we're not going to really try and scare you. We're just going to gross you out and make you fearful. And it changed something else. But this movie, Come and Play, it has a lot of, I didn't notice any of those horrible high frequencies in it. It was really well thought out story. Really well thought out. I really, really enjoyed it. Really, if you like, I don't know, kind of Babadook kind of movies, then definitely Come Play. Watch that one. And the other one was, I think it's called Annika. It is Kate Winslet, and it's like a period piece. It says a biography, so I don't know how true it is. And at first, when I started watching it, I was like, oh, is this going to be the agenda? Just to, you know, they want to push this. I'm not going to say push this gay agenda, because it's not that. Because I believe people, I'm not somebody who thinks like people are gay or straight. I just think people, it's just more labels. I mean, people are just going to like who they like and be attracted to who they're attracted to. Why we have to label it. But anyways, I just feel like that there's always like this stuff they're always trying to push down our throats. And but this movie, it was, cinematography was just really, I liked the, like he would choose certain shots that would give you like you could just read the scene without words. It was just it was really moving. It had a lot of really good stuff. It was a little explicit, like way more than, I'm not a voyeur. I've never been somebody who likes to watch porn. Every time I've been with somebody who wanted to put it on, all I can think about is, you know, this girl's got troubles. Somebody is hurting her. It just makes me sad. Like, what are her parents like? What is, I would get sad. I would get so caught up in the background story of these people in this movie. And now they've got regular movie stars doing softcore porn. It's like, I don't need to watch that. I don't really care. I don't. And there, you know, there's so many people who watch it and they think like that is what, I've been with people, boyfriends, husbands, that they think that's what sex is about. It's like, let's just play out this role. It's like, that's not connecting. That's not, you know, I don't know. Just move into a higher mindset about sex and stuff. But anyways, I know there's voyeurs, so, you know, some people enjoy, but I don't think we need to have so many movies that are just explicit sex. And then I mean, you can go watch Hallmark movies, Christian movies, and family movies, but then they're also pushing something on you, this like holier than thou attitude. It's like, I just, you know, I like the older movies back in the day, you know, when you saw the parents walk into the bedroom and shut the door and you just knew what was going on. You didn't have to watch them do it and compare yourselves. And these people, you know, they're doing all these sexual things and then sexual shots, and they've got body doubles. They, you know, work out, starve themselves, take water pills before these scenes and stuff. It's just so much not real life. Like in real life, your hair's getting pulled, you're getting your hair, you're sweaty, it's smelly, and I think some people get so caught up in this movie fantasy sex that they can't even enjoy real sex. So yeah, that's the whole thing. But anyways, I'm not a voyeur. I don't need to watch other people. And it's pretty explicit, depending on where you fall in that kind of idea. And but the scenes are definitely erotic. But it's a good movie if you can find it. The other girl, I recognize her, but I can't think of her name. I'm horrible with names. But anyways, it's Kate Winslet. It's a period piece, new movie, and it's really good. And let's see, that seemed like there was something else I wanted to say. I just feel like that there's just so much about Hollywood, and movies have all been made to control us and make us see things through a certain lens. Like when you start thinking about that programming, they're programming you with it. TV programs, because they're programming you. And then plus when you see about that, like you get yourself, when you go and relax and you watch TV, you go into this other mind state. So you go into like this meditative mind state where it's easy to program you. People who sit their kids in front of the TV and stuff. Yeah, I think we're going to be breaking away from all of this stuff, though. I think that people are going to be so... I think there's still going to be entertainment, but I just don't think it's going to be corporate. And I think that we're moving out of corporate, of CEO, like these giant conglomerates of CEOs controlling everything. I think it's going to come down to smaller production companies and smaller followings and people being more involved. And I think there's going to be a lot more of live things. I think people are going to appreciate going back to, you know, outdoor plays, back like Shakespeare and stuff. They would go out and do those plays out in the street and stuff. Back in those days, you know, you just would go by and see. I think we're going to get back to when people want to entertain and show their art and stuff. It's just we're going to be, and I think so many people are going to be finding this other side of themselves, this artistic side. And I think we're going to be making tribes built on these kinds of concepts of different things. Like, I know that some of the things, like I keep having visions of like having outdoor play, like a theater kind of thing where it is kids, and kids get to come and they get to do, you know, dress up and do theater, and then in the summertime, you know, that they can have a performance, you know, and show their kids. But I think it needs to be that they do it all. That these kids have to write the story. They have to create the set. They have to make their costumes. They have to write their words, you know, like to actually get into the creation of the whole thing, the whole message. And I just think there's going to be a lot more of creation and a lot less of sitting and having someone entertain you because you worked so hard all day. You can't do anything. I think that we're moving out of that. There's going to be less of people just working themselves to death and more of people out creating and enjoying the world, enjoying life, seeing the world, traveling. I think there's so much more that kids can learn by traveling and being involved with other cultures. And I think that it's important to learn things. Like I went to a museum in Vancouver, and it's the archaeology museum. It's got a ton of cool stuff. But when you're in those part with the Native Americans, this basket weaving thing, and it said that it's becoming a lost art. All these women that used to do it, now kids aren't doing it anymore. And I started thinking, you know, it's weird. It's because I know how to sew. Do you know how many people I know throw away their clothes because they get... Would you please stop? Oh, stop it.